Hello, I'm Cindy Sirian with Community Medical Centers. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Community MedWatch. Tonight, for most collegiate athletes, their dreams and aspirations are to play professionally in their sport after college. But sometimes their injuries can leave them sidelined indefinitely from the sport they love most. Here's how orthopedic surgeon Peter Simonian helped a Valley football star take the next step in life after a career-ending play.
In a 2007 football game against Oregon, former Fresno State defensive end Jason Roberts found himself in the end zone with more than a tackle.
I never really thought that happened to me. I remember right in the beginning of the third quarter, Oregon had the ball on the goal line, and I went to go make the tackle, and I just remember I was on the ground. My leg swung in the air and hit someone else's leg, and it broke the tibia and fibula, both bones, just kind of a complete clean break.
After the injury, Jason had surgery to fix the broken tibia and fibula, but it was never right.
About 7 months later, my bone still wasn't healed, and I was still having a lot of problems.
Hey, Jason.
Hey, how you doing?
Fine. How about yourself?
Good.
Good.
Jason wanted a second opinion, so he went to see orthopedic surgeon Peter Simonian at Simonian Sports Medicine Clinic in Fresno.
What impressed me about him was it wasn't like you're just a patient, I mean, they outlined everything. So I really just felt like, he was taking care of it and I was in good hands.
Dr. Simonian said that Jason's broken tibia and fibula were very uncommon injuries for a football athlete.
Here, where you see the fracture going across here and across here. And what happens is when the body's trying to heal a fracture, new bone is forming. And in his case, because the fracture wasn't healing, he kept forming new bone around the fracture, but it wouldn't bridge the fracture. So he was getting this more and more swollen area.
What happened to your leg,
At that point, it was elected to go forward with a repeat surgery to try to stimulate some healing and also give more stability to the leg so it could heal.
Jason had his second surgery at Clovis Community Medical Center.
Clovis was a nice hospital, and even his staff, I remember, the staff was really good. And
Dr. Simonian replaced the original rod in Jason's leg and removed the screws that were stripped and broken. He explains the difficulty of this surgery.
What we had to do is we had to take out the rod, and he had screws that were going across the rod. One of them was broken, they were all stripped, and then there was a cap that was screwed into the end of the rod because the length was a little bit short on the rod that he had before, and the screw in that was stripped. And so we had to use different instrumentation to get these stripped screws out.
my main problem was, and he put a bigger rod, for better strength and stuff like that. And I think that's helped a lot.
We had to order this special. The length of his leg is long, the diameter is big, and so we really placed the biggest rod possible to try to give him stability, because with these fractures, because they can heal so slowly, it's a race between the biology of the bone healing and the metal fatiguing over time. Once we did this, he went on to start healing almost immediately. Each month when we saw a new x-ray, there was further healing of the fracture, and today it's completely healed, which is great for him.
I noticed a 150% difference.
Jason has seen a complete turnaround of leg movement since the second surgery.
Time will tell. He can push himself now as hard as he'd like. We have really no restrictions on him at all. And we'll see. I think he's going to get better than what he is now. And I think that bone will continue to resorb for the next year or two, and his leg will look more and more normal over that time. Because now that the bone is healed, you don't require that excessive bone, so your body starts resorbing some of that excess bone that was there. I think Jason's come a long way. The best news is his bone is completely healed. It's 100% strong. There's no doubt about that. It's a huge step, because with the bone being healed, now he can resume normal activities and start pushing himself.
I never really thought a broken leg was that big of a deal until now. So I am pretty lucky to be walking, and so I'm happy about that.
Now that Jason's on the mend, he wants to start his own business.
I'm kind of at a point in my life where I want to pick one thing and kind of go for it, 100%. That's my next step.
Jason, from all of us here at Community, we wish you the best in your future endeavors and for your next step in life.